Hello everybody and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. It's my second video for today, but I had to jump on and talk about the Newcastle striker situation because it is taking a really interesting turn of events. Eddie Howe has said that he needs a striker to come in. Of course, Callum Wilson is apparently out for a further 2.5 months and a striker is really needed. And Eddie Howe actually wants a striker to come in ideally before the Watford game at the weekend, which is going to be a massive 6-pointer, of course. Guys, before I jump into the video today, make sure to hit that like button. And more importantly, we're getting really close to 1,500 subs. So come on, help us out. Hit that subscribe button if you are new here. Now, as I said, the Newcastle striker situation is a really interesting one to monitor at the moment, with many strikers being linked. One of the ones that was linked yesterday was Burnley's Chris Wood. It does look like Burnley have rejected that proposal or that the movement of Newcastle towards this striker because they've also been in a relegation battle, don't want to sell to one of their relegation rivals at the moment, which is completely understandable. It would be a massive, well, it'd be a stupid mistake, wouldn't it, really, on Burnley's behalf to give away Chris Wood, who isn't having the greatest season at the moment, but the bloke has scored 12 or more goals for the past 5 seasons in the Premier League. A really solid striker usually for Burnley. And I think it would be a big mistake to let him go to a relegation rival, really. So this one at the moment has been parked. It'd be interesting to see if Newcastle did go in with an official bid, whether Burnley would reject that proposal if it was of a decent offer. But this is one at the moment that isn't going to be happening. But what about this one? Divock Origi. Liverpool at the moment have obviously lost 2 players, the main attackers, to the African Cup of Nations. Mo Salah and Sadio Mane not available at this moment in time. So I honestly do feel that, Eddie Howe has expressed his wish to have a striker before the game against Watford. I don't feel like this one will be possible before Watford. I really don't. But I do feel it's one that could happen in the window. And Newcastle today are being linked with an approach for Origi. Origi apparently wants to play more first-team football. I think he's at the point in his career now where that is probably something which he needs to do as well. 25 years old, I believe. He's reaching that point in his career now where he would want to be a main striker. And Newcastle would be a great opportunity. But there is the situation, as I say, that Eddie Howe would perhaps not be able to get him in before this game against Watford, which is seeming to be a very pivotal point and a pivotal game in the season, of course. And at the moment, Newcastle have no striker options. But what about another striker that has been linked? This time not the Premiership, but looking into the Championship. Another striker that has been heavily linked is Dominic Solanke, who of course went to Bournemouth following his time at Liverpool, and at the moment is having the season of his career with them in the Championship. He has 18 goals and 2 assists in just 25 appearances, so on some really good goal scoring record. And it's fair to say Newcastle are going to need a goal scorer going into the second half of this Premier League season. The only issue with this, of course, Bournemouth are top of the table. They currently are top of the table and they're 4 points within the automatic promotion battle. But Fulham do have 2 games in hand on them. So it is a really close race in the Championship. And you feel that Bournemouth are going to be wanting to keep a hold of their main striker to get them back to the promised land of the Premier League. But of course, a lot of Championship clubs do have FFP situations at the moment with, the effects of COVID. And it's fair to say Newcastle have not got to worry about that, certainly at the moment anyway, or for the next few years. So, it would be an interesting one to see what would happen if a substantial bid came in, whether Bournemouth are really in the financial position at the moment to turn it down. Newcastle fans, let me know, would Solanke be a striker that you would want at the club as well? Obviously didn't have the best of the time in the Premier League first time round, but really seems to have pushed on and improved since then. Look, there's 2 more strikers that have been linked today, and the last 2 are moving away from English football. Sardar Azmoun is the other next striker, the Indian striker who currently plays his trade in Russia, has 2 Champions League goals in 5 for appearances for Zenit at the moment. It's an option that's come available. It'd definitely be a cheaper option. It would definitely be more of a risky option, but he does know how to find his way to the back of the net. And perhaps it could be a second striker going forward when Callum Wilson does return. There's one more striker that I wanted to bring up. Now, this guy, I'm going to try and pronounce his name. I'm probably going to absolutely butcher it, but Hugo Ekitike is how I'm going to commit to it. Please tell me if I'm wrong. The 19-year-old striker who actually plays for Standard Liège is having a great time at the moment. 8 goals and 3 assists in his league at the moment. And you have to say, with Arsenal and Spurs previously being rejected to the young 19... previously being linked to the young 19-year-old striker, you would have to say that this would be a pretty good signing, to be honest. Maybe one more for the future, though, and you have to argue, do Newcastle at the moment need to be looking towards players for the future? I think it would be a great signing for the summer, but maybe something at the moment that they need someone a bit more that's going to come in and hit the ground running straight away to preserve that Premier League status. Of course, I think that he would be available for a really decent fee and would potentially result in being a really good striker, even if Newcastle had to sell him on, which would be important further down the line to grow the club gradually. But I feel at the moment it needs to be more tried and tested players. But these are the 5 players that have been linked to Newcastle. So Newcastle fans, let me know, who would your choice be? Who do you think's the most realistic? Obviously from the Premier League choices, Origi, and how important is it for, obviously Eddie Howe says he wants the striker in before Watford. Do you match that, or do you think it's more important that they just take the time over the transfer window, which I'm sure they probably will do if the primary targets can't come in, they might be willing to wait. But yeah, let me know. Hit that like button, and also, as I said, help us get to 1,500 subs and hit that subscribe button as well. And hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.